Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the West Coast Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Richard Frias Guzman. And on today's podcast or today's episode, I will be talking about all three teams as usual. I will be bringing up or giving you guys a quick update on the Dodgers and the Raiders, and then lastly, giving you guys a big update on the Lakers as they did come away with the victory last night against the New York Knicks. They went 1-1, or finished 500 in their New York trip that they had. Going up against Brooklyn last night, going up against the Knicks, or the night before, and then going against the Knicks last night. So they do have a day off, and then they're going to be going up against it's the Pacers, then the Pelicans. So the Pacers first, which actually they have the same record as the Lakers do, or as we do, and then the Pelicans, which they actually have a 500. I think they're 26-26 right now. So it's going to be a really interesting couple games before they head home. We'll talk all about that. We'll talk all about this game. And so with that, it's going to pretty much cover today's episode. It'll be episode 128. It is Wednesday. It is actually the 1st of February, so February 1st, 2023. I'm actually only 2 days away from my anniversary. Can't wait to actually celebrate it. Going to be having a good weekend with the wife and all. So definitely can't wait to go and do that. If you are listening to this, baby, I love you so much and can't wait to go and celebrate our anniversary. So with that being said, guys, I do just want to get right into the podcast, but just want to go and remind you guys that you can follow me on Instagram and on Twitter. It's going to be the same handle for both of those. It is West Coast Pod 702. Again, that's West Coast Pod 702. So definitely drop me a follow. And if you have any kind of questions or would like to talk sports or like to talk about anything, definitely go ahead and send me a DM or a message, and I'll love to go ahead and talk to any one of you guys. I also even created a Facebook page as well. It's just the name of the podcast, West Coast Sports Podcast. You'll be able to find it on there. I post up anytime that I have a new episode or anything going on. You'll definitely be able to stay informed all over there. So with that being said, I do just want to get right into the podcast here for you guys. So there has been some news for both the Raiders and the Dodgers. Raiders, it all depends, I guess, how you feel about Derek Carr. It all depends about how you feel about this whole situation. There has been some news. Derek Carr is now also a Pro Bowler. Or does that make sense? But yeah, a Pro Bowler. I don't even know if that's a word, but he has been elected to go to the Pro Bowl alongside with a couple of his other teammates that he's had for this past season. And I know it's a little bit weird because everybody knows he's not going to be a Raider, but he's going to be representing the Raiders as a Pro Bowler. So it's definitely going to be a bit of a weird situation. I am going to see what I can do about maybe heading out there. I'd love to be out there on Sunday with the wife. She was actually even talking to me about it, so I definitely would like to go and see what I can do about being out there. Would like to go ahead and see see if I can go in and get Derek Carr to go and even just acknowledge me or something like that one last time before he heads out to another team, which we already know that it's gonna for sure happen. Would like to maybe see if I can even get an interview or something like that, or see if I can get something from these guys, maybe even just some sound for you guys from that Pro Bowl game. Well, not even so much of a game anymore. It's gonna be games. It's like they're gonna have like a combine or something like that, right? I know that those rules have ended up changing due to Max Crosby. So if you guys haven't been informed, you guys didn't know anything about that, Max Crosby had these rules changed, or he didn't have them changed, but because of him, they were changed. In the Pro Bowl, as we all know, they really try to eliminate as much contact and this and that, and they changed it over the years from actually having contact where you can tackle the players down and everything to now where what they actually do is, or previously what they were doing after that, after tackling and everything, is they only made it where you can wrap up a player, not fully tackle him down to the ground and such. But with Max Crosby, how he goes 110% every single down, he was knocking guys down still, even when he was just running into them. So they were getting a little bit upset and this and that, and it made it so that now the Pro Bowl is literally just like a combine or something like that. So definitely going to be interesting to go in and see what that kind of a style of the Pro Bowl is going to look like. Maybe it'd be cool to just kind of have like bragging rights and competitions between certain other players to see who can catch, the most balls, or who can throw the furthest, who can run the fastest, and so on and so forth. It'll be great to go ahead and see all that kind of stuff, and really just fun, in my opinion, to go ahead and see. I'm pretty sure they're going to have all kinds of other stuff, fun things to go and do. So I'll definitely see what I can do about heading out there this weekend. So hopefully, if any of you guys are out there, you guys can definitely go in and say hi. I'll definitely love to go in and talk to any one of you guys. But otherwise, that's pretty much the news when it comes down to the Raiders. Just little gossip kind of stuff and just updates on the Pro Bowl and so on and so forth. In my opinion, honestly, what I've noticed here on a couple other things when it comes down to the Raiders, guys, is there's all kinds of different directions that the Raiders can go. I mean, we can either look into possibly getting a franchise quarterback in this draft or something like that. We definitely are going to be getting some sort of a new quarterback, whether if it's Jared Stidham who's going to be there behind center, or whether if it's going to be some sort of a veteran that we end up re-signing or that we end up trading for or signing for over the offseason, or it's going to be a rookie coming out of the draft. So some way, somehow, that's going to be some sort of big dynamic piece that's going to be changed. Then from there, in my opinion, I really think towards the draft, unless if for whatever reason, one of the big three or unless if the front office team already has their eyes set on a particular quarterback that's not going to be in the big three. Say it is like a Hendon Hooker or something out of Tennessee who had this amazing first season, but unfortunately got injured, and now that's going to affect his draft, like where he falls in the draft. People are not going to be too 100% sure how he's going to recover, so on and so forth. But the guy seems to have a really great arm. He doesn't seem to be 100% mobile, but he can extend plays, if that makes sense. Like, he's not a running quarterback, but he can extend plays if he notices that there's no open player down the field. He doesn't mind picking up 4 or 5 yards and sliding, and at least working with that, or something like that. Those are the kind of quarterbacks that I tend to like, because I prefer if you're able to sling that ball around to your playmakers and make plays like that, because there's always that thing of you are very scared if your quarterback's going to go ahead and run, not be able to slide in time, and possibly get hurt really bad. So that's just me again, but so it is one of the things that I know, and that I am noticing that there is all kinds of different directions the Raiders can go. Good thing is that we should have a better understanding of it pretty soon, at least right after the Super Bowl, with the whole decision on Derek Carr having to be made. So at least by then we'll know, right, Derek Carr is going to be moving, what team is he going to, whether if we're going to get more trade capital or more draft capital, or whether if it's just going to be we're going to have more money because we released them. So that way it frees up more money, so that way they can go ahead and get out and get better free agents. So all kinds of different directions, but in my opinion, it is best off going in. If you figure out what quarterback you want, whether if it is you drafting somebody early, drafting somebody late, get somebody for the future, get somebody for now. Even if that's Jared Stidham, even if it's another veteran out there, just get somebody in there who can at least get the job done, who can at least get us by a couple seasons. Somebody. If it is Jared Stidham, hopefully he has a better season. I know it was only a couple games that we finally got to go and see him. That 49ers game, he showed out. The Chiefs game, it is what it is. We kind of already expected that was going to be an L anyways. If it is that we can figure out the defense in the draft, hopefully get a really young, fast, strong defense, then beef up that offensive line, so that way you are set for whoever it is in the future that's the successor of the veteran quarterback, or the successor of the quarterback who's going to be there. Or if it is a young quarterback, don't you want to make sure that you have all the right pieces around him from the get-go? Whoever it is, even if it is a veteran quarterback, even if it is Jared Stidham, don't you want to have all the pieces around him to make him successful? Don't you? That's just me. That's the one thing I've noticed in this entire NFL, the playoffs here, is teams have complete teams. You need to have a complete team around that quarterback, around your team. Otherwise, it's very, very, very easy for teams to exploit any sort of weakness. If you have a weak running game, or if you can't defend the run, if you can't defend the pass, a team will make sure to exploit that. But again, that's all my opinion. It is one of the things that I feel definitely needs to be addressed. There needs to be some sort of a big game plan moving forward in order for the Raiders to have some sort of success, and not just success for a season or two or anything like that. No, you need to have consistent success. I want to make sure. I would love to see the Raiders become a team that's consistently in the playoffs season after season after season, similar to like the Chiefs. I hate to go and say it, but I would like the Raiders to build something similar to that. Now I know, and I want everything to be Raiders, but similar to that, similar to what the Patriots have done for years and years and years. I want something sustainable. That's just me. I'm pretty sure a lot of Raider fans can agree. Let me know what you think. Definitely send me any kind of messages or anything like that. But let me know what you think about that. So to move on forward, guys, I know that's a weird transition. I do want to just mention a couple things here with the Raiders before we're going to get down to the main topic of today's podcast. As we all know, it is the Lakers. I know a lot of you guys maybe are not Laker fans or maybe not fans of all three teams that I talk about on this podcast. But if you listen to any sort of it, I just want to send my appreciations. Whether if you tune in for the Raiders, for the Dodgers, or for the Lakers, or all three of them, or maybe two of them, I appreciate every single one of you. And if you have any friends or family members, definitely tell them about this podcast, and hopefully they'll like it too. So with that being said, guys, I do want to talk really quick about the Dodgers, as they have had a little bit of news. Some of it's really, really unfortunate news. There's a scout, a longtime Dodger. He's been involved with the organization for so many years. This man was involved with the Dominican Republic. I believe they have like some sort of a camp or something like that with the Dodgers that brings in a lot of those players that grow with the organization and sometimes become great players for the Dodgers. Yes, Puig was actually one of them. If you guys remember, Pedro Martinez, he was actually one of them as well. This man unfortunately did pass away. Rafa Ayala, he did pass away. I believe it was either last night on Monday or over the weekend. He was 92 years old. Lived a great life from what I can only imagine. But definitely like to go in and just mention that out there. Send my condolences to all their friends and family for Rafa, and for all the Dodger Nation, all the Dodger fans out there that definitely have appreciated him for so many years. He does a lot of the background stuff, of course, that maybe some people won't know, but definitely I would like to go and just mention him for the moment. Very sad news to go and hear about that, but definitely our condolences, our prayers, our thoughts go to their family, and may he rest in peace. But the other news here that I wanted to go and bring up, sorry to go and start off to go so badly transition, but I did want to mention there was a contract extension or contract signing that ended up happening with Tony Gonsolin. He has been paid. He is going to be locked in for a couple years now. I did not get the exact dollar amount. It's one of those things that really doesn't matter to me too much, I guess. But he is locked in for 3 years now, 4 years. He's going to be, at least a Dodger here for the next few years now. Definitely excited to go and see what he's going to be able to bring to the ball club moving forward, not just this season, but also as well moving forward. I really think he can easily be a really big staple in the pitching rotation for the Dodgers moving forward. We have already seen last season how good of a pitcher he was. He had to take some time off due to injury, so on and so forth. It is what it is. When it comes down to that, people get hurt, but definitely excited to go ahead and see what the guy's able to go and bring. So definitely a great thing for the Dodgers. It sounds like now that February's come around, it sounds like now the pitchers and catchers are actually going to be reporting. So you got a lot of things going around when it comes down to that. People starting to work out more. People starting to go and get acclimated with each other. Shoot, by the time we look around the corner, it's going to go ahead and be, opening day. I want to say it's going to be like late March, early April, if I'm not mistaken. So definitely excited to go and see that. Maybe I might try to head out to opening day to get some sound for you guys for the game. Maybe see if I can sneak in an interview or something like that. But we'll see what happens. If you guys have any kind of certain matchups or position battles or anything like that you can think of, I'm really going to be interested to see what's going to happen with the third base, because you have Max Muncy right there. You have Miguel Vargas, who can go in and play there as well. So you have a couple different players, a couple different positions, even center field. Not 100% sure if it's going to be James Outman, if it's going to be what's his name, Trace Thompson. You have a couple different options out there. So overall, we'll see. You don't maybe I'm pretty sure it's going to be Will Smith who's going to be catcher moving forward as well. But always have some position battles when it comes down to that. Even shortstop and second base, you have Miguel Rojas, who can play shortstop, who can play second base. You have Galvin Lux, who can play second base, who can play shortstop. I'm really thinking because of his arm, it might be best to have Galvin play second. Then you have Miguel Rojas play shortstop. You have, but I guess we'll have to go and see what happens overall. All kinds of different position battles. Let me know if you guys have any of them that maybe you're looking forward to seeing, and seeing who you think might actually win that battle and might get the starting position. So we'll talk all about that later on down the line. And with that being said, I do want to go ahead and just transition on over to the Lakers. I do want to take a quick minute. As you guys know, I want to take that minute to go and talk to you guys about another Instagram page that you guys definitely want to follow. It is my wife's page, Rosa. So it is Rosie's Designs EST 2022. Again, that's Rosie's Designs EST 2022. And if you guys have any kind of celebrations, parties, or anything like that going on, you definitely want to drop a follow to that page. Because my wife, she makes all these amazing chip bags with all these incredible designs where you can come up with lettering, designs, characters, or pictures of yourself and family or friends or whoever the case is, whatever the celebration is. She can come up with an incredible design. Just kind of give her some ideas. If you want particular pictures or fonts or colors or anything like that, or a particular character or something like that, she can definitely go in and see what you can do. But definitely check out the page so that way you get a better understanding of what I'm talking about, and then you'll be able to go in and have a visual at least. But if you are interested, again, definitely drop a follow. She has a giveaway going on as well right now that is going to end on Friday on our anniversary, February 3rd. So get in there, go ahead and try to get your last minute entries so that way you can be entered in for the giveaway. So again, just one more time, that page is Rosie's Designs EST 2022, and I'll make sure to drop a mention on there on my Instagram page so that way you guys have it. And if you guys have any kind of questions on the other platforms like Facebook or even my email, definitely go ahead and let me know if you have any questions about that as well. So with that being said, guys, I do want to take a quick minute to talk to you guys about the Lakers. As they were underway, did end up playing against the New York Knicks last night. So they had that unfortunate loss against the Nets, the Brooklyn Nets, the night before. And there was no Ben Simmons, no Kevin Durant, and no TJ Warren. So you definitely understand that they were a little short-handed, but that was definitely enough. Even what they had when it came down to the Nets, in order to want to put away the Lakers. With having AD back barely one game and trying to get acclimated and trying to get into rhythm again. And in my opinion, the Lakers are still trying to tinker with their lineups and trying to tinker with what players are going to fit best with each other, especially with having the addition of Rui Hachimura, now having Lonnie Walker IV back, expecting to have Austin Reeves back pretty soon, and then even having to reacclimate Anthony Davis in there. When you had so many other players like a Dennis Schroeder, like Thomas Bryant, who were excelling during that time. They were playing very, very well during the time that AD was out. Now you're starting to see that their numbers are kind of falling a little bit. Even with Thomas Bryant, you're seeing that his numbers are a little bit down, even his minutes are down. My opinion, maybe those should go up a little bit. Maybe they can do a little Twin Towers kind of a deal. And then even with Rui Hachimura, I mean, he's getting his minutes, so you definitely like to go and see what he's doing. He's even coming up with flirting with like 20 points now. He's that kind of a player where he can easily give you 15, if not all the way up to like 25 in the game easily. You definitely just want to see some sort of a consistency if you can with him, and hopefully that can happen. You definitely just like to go and see the activity. You like to see him out there busy, go in and get the bucket. to go and get the ball, to go and get a bucket out there, to get the rebounds. He's a bit of a hustle player in some senses, but he also has that certain swagger about himself, But he's a really big hustle player at the same time. He's one of those kind of guys that he's a generalist, if that makes sense. He does almost all the things good, but nothing really exceptionally well or anything like that. So I don't know if that makes sense. Like, he's good at just about everything, but he's not great at everything or at any one of those things, really. If that makes sense. Maybe I'm being a little bit too harsh on the guy or something like that, but he is definitely a great player overall. When it comes down to the overall thing about him, the size, the ability, the skills that he has, the way that he puts it all together really does make him a special player in my eyes. And definitely, there's maybe now that we have a closer look at him, maybe I'm gonna be able to notice other things because I don't know. It's just one of those things when it's a player that's on the Lakers, I'm able to keep a closer eye on them. I'm able to see multiple plays from them and not just highlights and stuff like that. So it is definitely one of the special things that I'm noticing when it comes down to Rui, is that he does such a great job of being able to mix everything. The fact that he has that size, the fact that he has the skills that he has, and the knowledge that he has of the game, he puts it all together to make it work for him, and then that does make him a great player, if that makes sense. So when it comes down to it, overall with Rui, you have also even Braun and AD who had great games. You even had Russ who had a pretty great game as well. In my opinion, though, I really think we need to give some more minutes to Lonnie. And if we give some more minutes to Lonnie Walker the fourth, it might go ahead and chew into some of Troy Brown's minutes, because I think he's like damn near getting like 30 points or something like that, 30 minutes. I think those minutes can maybe be shared a little bit. Even have Russ, who's always getting like in the 30-minute range. And I really think that we can benefit off of Lonnie's, skills and shooting ability a lot more. He was doing such a great job earlier in the season, and it's kind of disappointing now that he's, just because he's coming back from injury, that he has to, go and work back to getting those minutes when he's right now only getting like 13 minutes a game, and that's okay, but I really think he needs to be in that 20 to 25 range at least. Maybe give him 2 shifts in a game or something like that. But we'll see what happens when it comes down to that. But I really do think it's important to acclimate him in the game a little bit more. There's plenty of times that his skill and shooting ability can definitely be useful for this team, especially with how much other teams are packing the paint, and Lonnie does have the ability to come off of screens and be able to shoot. And so we'll see if maybe some changes kind of happen, because I am starting to notice that Darvin Ham has this sort of like 9-man rotation. He's having Juan Toscano Anderson, he's having Wendy Gabriel, and of course Damian Jones, all with DMPs, with where they're not playing in these games. I'm wondering what's going to happen with Max Christie once Austin Reeves comes back, whether if that's going to involve him actually maybe being reacclimated to the starting lineup, or whether that's going to mean Troy Brown maybe gets off of the starting lineup. In that case, when he's going to be replaced by Austin Reeves. We'll just have to go in and see what happens when it comes down to that, or even if Lonnie Walker the fourth is going to be reacclimated into the starting lineup. All kinds of different options that we can go in and go with. In my opinion, though, I think it should be something like Dennis Schroeder, Austin Reeves, or maybe you can put Lonnie Walker the fourth in there and have Austin Reeves coming off the bench. But something like that, Dennis, Lonnie, and then you have Rui, LeBron. Wow, actually, that's actually a tough one, because in my opinion, because you can't do a super big lineup. Imagine if you do a super big lineup where you have in center, you have Thomas Bryant, then you have AD at that would be crazy. You have Thomas Bryant at center, AD at power forward, then you put Braun at the 3 at small forward, and then you put Rui at the 2 guard. Imagine. That'd be a super big lineup. Your freaking shooting guard would be 6'8". That'd be so crazy. But I mean, it'd be an awesome thing to go and see, I really liked and really enjoyed seeing when Rui, AD, and Braun were on the floor. Rui already got acclimated to be the one of the guys in the closing lineup, especially from last game. So definitely excited to go ahead and see what that's going to look like when you see those three playing more often. You have that additional size when it comes down to Rui compared to when Kendrick Nunn or other players that were sometimes out there in the closing lineup. So now you have a way to be able to. You have three guys that can definitely exploit mixed matches. When there's a mismatch out there, you have a smaller player on you or something like that. You have a certain player that for sure can't handle or can't guard you. So I have to go and see if they're able to go and do that more often, especially when you see the switching ability of like the Brooklyn Nets, and that there's other teams out there that have that switching ability that could definitely give the Lakers a tough time. So we'll have to go and see if they make any sort of adjustments, or maybe if they have maybe when they see that a team is going to be switching against them, if they have like a different lineup or a different different set of players that can be out there, to go ahead and exploit that kind of stuff. Because I really do think that the Lakers have that ability to have a team where they can be chameleons or they can switch their identity. If they're going to be a team that's going to attack the glass all the time, or attack the rim at all the times and be really aggressive and this and that. But then they also have a team, I feel like, that can be very finesse. They have a lot of finesse. They have a lot of shooting ability, a lot of skill. If you have lineups like you have the Twin Towers like Thomas Bryant and Anthony Davis, then you have LeBron. Then you can go ahead and that's a huge front court from there. Then you have other lineups where you can have Rui, LeBron, and AD, and have a whole lot of finesse, but still be big at the same time. And then you have guys like Lonnie, guys like Austin Reeves, who can give you some additional skill and can even be those connective pieces. But even with Lonnie and with Austin Reeves, they can also even finish with their shooting, and they have great skills attacking the basket as well. So you have multiple different ways to go through different lineups. I mean, just imagine lineups where you have like Russ, LeBron, AD, and Thomas Bryant. That's nothing but force right there. You get one other guy, maybe like a Pat Bev or something like that. It's nothing but strong, powerful guys who can go ahead and hold their own against just about any one of those players on the court. No matter what position they play. So it is something to keep an eye on. I am wondering what Darvin Ham has going on in his head. We have a couple games where the Lakers can definitely maybe mess around with a couple ideas, maybe not mess around with them too long, because you definitely don't want to, because at this point, getting so close to the end of the season and seeing how close the standings have been in the West, it is going to be crucial to win as many games as possible at this point. I really think the Lakers only have maybe 10 games at the most, 10, 11 games at the most that they can lose and still potentially make the playoffs, or at least the play-in tournament. And that's not saying much. That means that they're going to have to finish around like 20-something and 10 or something like that. So we'll have to go in and see what happens. We'll have to go in and see if they are able to go in and get something like that done. It has to all start with, they already off to a good start by only finishing 500, getting that victory last night against the Knicks. But then now they have to go and switch gears on over to Indiana, and which they haven't been playing the best basketball here as of late, but still want to go to make sure, teams always seem to get up a little bit more for the Lakers, so you always have to keep your guard up. You always have to go ahead and, keep an eye on the victory overall. And after that, they have the Pelicans, who again, they haven't been playing the best basketball as of late. I believe they're actually trying to get reacclimated now that Brandon Ingram is expected to get back, or is back. So we'll have to go in and wait and see with that. And then they're going to be coming back home playing against the Thunder. Then they have that big game against the Bucks at home, where a lot of people are thinking that that's where LeBron is going to, beat the scoring record from Kareem. Definitely would be interesting to go and see if that's the case. I'm definitely going to keep an eye on that and to see exactly when he's going to be passing that record. But with that being said, guys, I am going to close up the podcast from there. I'll be talking to you guys again on Friday after Thursday's game against the Pacers, just to kind of do a little post game kind of a deal, or just to kind of do a little wrap up for the week and everything from there. If there's any other news or anything like that that comes out from the Lakers, from the Dodgers, or from the Raiders, especially if it's some sort of breaking news or something like that, I'll make sure to go ahead and talk to you guys about that. But until then, I'll talk to you guys on Friday. Hope you guys have a good week. Hope you guys have a good Wednesday, good rest of your week, and I'll talk to you guys on Friday. Take care. Make sure you tell your loved ones you love them. Make sure you take care of all your loved ones. And until then, guys, peace.